Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. We start off today doing a little bit of an unexpected update to Burning Man. Now, the last time I made a video about Burning Man, it was just a story of a bunch of miscreant activists who were blocking a road supposedly to the event, and the Nevada Rangers ran over them, and they arrested everybody who was involved. And that's pretty much all I made about Burning Man, and I really didn't think much of it until this recent situation just happened at the festival. So anyways, let's give an update on Burning Man. The, I guess, hippie concert and festival in general that they hold out in the Sierra Nevada desert there on the alkali salt. Now, what happened during the festival after that whole climate activist bullshit incident? A lot of people ended up getting sick at Burning Man after a rare Nevada downpour happened. Some people are claiming that there's like a disease outbreak at Burning Man because of what was going on. Even bullshit claiming that there's Ebola at Burning Man and all the people are vomiting, they're all having trouble breathing, and they've all got rashes and stuff like that. It's all fucked up, and I heard one person has died, by the way, which is unfortunate. So link in the description archived, of course. There's been a very weird situation that unfolded at Burning Man while it was going on. This is also why Ebola was trending on Twitter/X alongside Burning Man. A lot of people thought that Ebola was happening there because all the people there were vomiting, they were getting violently sick, they had diarrhea, their lungs were not working, they had all these rashes and whatnot, and all these weird things happen due to the fact that they were being exposed to alkali salts in the soil. Now, let me go in and address this right now. No, there is no Ebola at Burning Man. Cut it with the fucking shit. However, there is definitely disease at Burning Man. We will get this out of the way. I'm certain that, tens of thousands of festival goers there. There are some, STDs out there, and there might be an AIDS outbreak, herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, and whatnot. Maybe even monkeypox or something like that. I'm certain of this because, obviously, this is Burning Man, and as I mentioned in my last video, Burning Man, even though I've never gone before, nor do I ever intend on going, it's essentially a thing for hippies. These are a bunch of hippie-trippy hipsters that more than likely tend to be, obviously, the least hygienic people in the world when you really think about it. Let's be real here, folks. Which is why they go out into the middle of the mud steppe filled with alkali soil, and they get high and they start tripping, and they convert around together, and then they burn things and do all this weird stuff. Like, the best I can describe it, it's basically like the middle class, poor man's version of Bohemian Grove. That's basically what it is. You're too poor for Bohemian Grove, but you can go out into the middle of the Nevada desert and have your own orgies there. That's what Burning Man is. I should have mentioned this on my earlier video, but time constraint obviously exists. All I know is that it's just a random festival for weirdos, and they go out and they burn their effigies that they have and all sorts of other stuff there. That's all I know. I never gone to Burning Man, and knowing what it is, I don't plan on going. It's not my cup of tea personally, and I'm definitely not that type of dude. I find that a lot of the stuff that they do at Burning Man, a little bit too fucking weird for me. If only we had like our own version of Woodstock for the 21st century, I would, oddly enough, go to a Woodstock-like festival. Definitely would be better than going to Burning Man. I don't really know about the idea of, I guess, going onto the alkali salt flat in the middle of the Nevada desert in order to watch a wooden man burn to the ground while you're taking a bunch of drugs, tripping on psilocybin, and listening to some weird psychedelic music and whatnot. But here's the thing. Here is what really happened. What actually ended up happening here is that a bunch of people have been basically embroiled by heavy rain, which they knew was going to happen anyway. I mean, come on, bro. Didn't you check the forecast? I know it's Nevada and, it's rare for that to happen, especially in a desert-like environment, but you knew that there was going to be heavy rain based on radar data. You're out in the middle of a salt flat that happens to be alkaline, so of course when it rains heavily, it's going to get very muddy and it's going to ruin your day. And considering, again, that these are alkali salts, the basicness of these alkaline salts can cause negative and serious health effects when exposed. It won't kill you, but it will definitely cause lung irritation if you're breathing in the fumes. It will definitely cause vomiting and diarrhea just by the exposure alone. It can make you essentially act drunk because the fumes can mess with your brain, and it will definitely cause skin irritation. That's a given. All the health effects by these alkali salts are very nasty, and in a desert-like environment, especially in the Mojave Desert, alkali salts are very common to be found there. And that's why all these problems at Burning Man were happening. You know, you've got a foot of mud all around the playa there, and so people who had like a trailer or something that, it sinks down into the mud and, you'll have a rough time trying to get out because you're stuck in the mud, which probably might turn into quicksand. That's another concern when you're in a desert-like environment. If it pours heavily and there's a lot of heavy rain in the desert, there is a good chance that some of the mud and some of the sand there might turn into quicksand, and you might get stuck there because you are sinking in the quicksand, and your trailer or whatever you have could also be affected by it too. And then all of a sudden, your trailer then floods with like several inches of this fairly corrosive and toxic substance. People should have never attended in the first place. They should have rescheduled it. Knowing what weather was expected at the time the festival was gonna happen, they should have just postponed the festival altogether, if anything else. I think it's just goddamn stupid to have a get-together out there in an area where there are no paved roads, besides one which was sabotaged temporarily by a bunch of activists thinking that they're owning climate change, but that one road is a far-off drive anyway from where they are, so people can't even get out right now. Highly toxic and highly corrosive. Again, it will cause a burning sensation on your skin with prolonged contact, being exposed with people who, in many cases, are not really experienced outdoorsmen or women. If anything, it's the exact opposite. I've seen videos on Twitter of these people walking out and going out barefoot, and all these people having burns all over their feet just by going outside, not knowing that the Mojave Desert has a high concentration of these alkaline salts that, again, will cause skin burns and all these negative health effects. And they decided to go out into this remote location to have their, Bohemian Grove knockout festival sort of thingy. And now they're stuck out there with little to no help. Now, I don't know what happened at the end. I'm pretty sure everyone is fine and okay as of now. This situation only happened for, I guess, about a few days or so. The crisis may have been averted. They may or may not have still been able to burn their, effigy in the end, but we're not sure. I mean, again, this was a week-long event. Who's to say that there could be, another situation where another downpour happens and then we get a repeat of this? Authorities aren't able to do anything for them unless somebody is, airlifted out or something like that by a helicopter and sent right to the nearest hospital, but still, there's just no help for you. If you're out there in that remote area with no nearby settlements in those conditions, you're essentially up shit's creek without a paddle, and so they basically called upon them to conserve food and water. I really do hope that you guys brought extra food and water, and, if you brought your own trailer to the event, at least you can have some snacks and other foods there and whatnot. You may even have a kitchen in your trailer, so you can cook your own food there and have a nice little cookout. A couple of 10-gallon jugs of water or something like that. Alongside your drugs, of course. Don't forget your drugs. I mean, you're in Burning Man, so that is mandatory. And they gotta be mushrooms too, because that's what they do there. And you don't starve and you don't die of thirst or anything like that. You just have to wait there a few miserable days, unable to go outside without boots on. Again, I saw videos of people walking barefoot through the alkaline mud. That's not a great idea. Soles of your feet will end up heavily abraded therefore after. So no, there's no Ebola outbreak at Burning Man. There's only just an outbreak of idiocy. That's all. Just figured that I would, fact check that because a lot of people, especially on Twitter, were saying that there was an Ebola outbreak or they had some weird foreign disease of some sort or something along those lines and all sorts of weird stuff. That's not the case. The fact that people have rashes and their lungs hurt and their feet are burning and people are vomiting and having heart attacks and whatnot, this is just plain basic science. The reason why this happened is because people were in a highly toxic and highly alkaline environment that just so happened to get heavily rained on, and they were not prepared for what was going to happen there. All this really boils down to is shitty preparedness, and that's basically just it. So there's no disease outbreak there, other than the, inevitable STDs and overdoses that take place. So you can thankfully rest assured that there won't be, some sort of zombie virus outbreak from Burning Man. It's not like that we've, already had enough viral problems over the last few years, if you know what I mean. But, I don't know, man. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button down below. And if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the little notification bell. Be sure to follow me on all my social medias. Links are in the description below, as always. Share this video around with your friends, families, boyfriends, girlfriends, enemies, whomever. Definitely helps me out a lot, helps the video grow, and helps grow the channel if you share this video with whomever you know. Don't forget to leave all your thoughts and opinions about the video in the comment section down below, as I always end the conversation down to you at the end of every video. What do you think about this situation? Should the festival have been rescheduled? Did people make the right decision to come? Do you think the people were not prepared? Is Burning Man your type of thing? Leave all your thoughts in the comments down below, as always. Love to hear all your thoughts, but anyways, guys, like, subscribe, ring notifications, and until then, take care, talk soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.